Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome to the answer section of my 5,000 subscriber Q&A video thing type whatever. Loads of questions came in, so I'm going to sort of do it in this sort of live-ish format where I'm just going to go through them. I'll cut it up a little bit, but it's not going to be super edited, just me sort of going through the questions here. As you can see in the background, I've got the video open, like a big ass zoom, like 200% zoom, so you guys can see. I'm going to go for the questions I see here and sort of just go from there. So I'm just going to stick it on the newest first, so we get all of them, or at least try to. So okay, let's start at the top then. Toxic Rex 7 Gaming says, who are your favourite F1, Le Mans, Rally and NASCAR drivers of all time? Well, I don't follow NASCAR, so I'm afraid I can't give you one for that. My favourite F1 driver of all time is probably Jean Alesi, but I'm not going to really explain why. My favourite Le Mans driver is probably Jackie Ickx. Just fantastic talent and won a lot of stuff. Go and look him up if you haven't seen him before. And my favourite rally driver of all time has got to be Colin McRae. Who else? If there are sort of repeat questions, I'll just say that and we'll move on. Kite asks, what music are you into? If you could list 3 artists / bands, that would be great. Oh, well, like, I'm going to give you a really vague answer here, because I'm into all sorts of music. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Linkin Park lately. I liked them a lot when I was younger and sort of coming back to them now. I also like the sort of really weird synthwave 80s style music. I'm really into that at the moment. There's not really an artist for that. I guess Laserhawk are an artist. You should check them out if you're into that sort of music. It's very cool, very 80s style-y. And I guess the Red Hot Chili Peppers as well. Those are the sort of bands. That's the spread you're looking at. It gets better or it gets worse as time goes on, but I rarely sort of listen to a band for longer than like a couple of months or so before I move on. Tito says, how did you get all your driving experience? Have you ever driven a real rally or race car? All my real experience, bar 1 or 2 occasions, have been on the road. I've all come from sim racing. I started racing on a console when I was very young and sort of went from there. That's where my racing experience comes from. I have driven at Brands Hatch, as you can see that Brands Hatch way. If my webcam's gone out of focus, by the way, I don't know, and just bear with it because my webcam likes to focus itself weirdly sometimes, which is fun. But I have driven a little Formula Brands Hatch car, little single-seater, so that's the closest I've come to driving a real racing car. Unfortunately, I've not had the chance to drive a rally car, but I would love to do it. Great to see you back in action, says Imzale. How's the Miata doing? Well, MX-5, Miata is the American name. The MX-5 is doing well, thank you. It's had some new brakes fitted recently, which cost me a lot of money, but aside from that, it's been bulletproof, no problems at all. We've got a bit of rust around one of the arches, but hopefully we'll get that sorted soon. Fingers crossed. Moja asks, apart from racing, what lets your competitive side run riot? Ugh, I'm just competitive all the time. Every time I can't deal with not winning at something or not doing well at something. Like that goes, I mean, probably just games in general where I'm most competitive. I used to play RuneScape and I used to do a lot of PvPing on there, and that was me being competitive, I guess. But racing is where definitely my sort of heart is. I used to do running as well. I used to run, do long distance running. I was pretty competitive in that. But then I play games and got fat, so I don't do that anymore. Nick asked, what is my perfect Sunday? Well, it's Sunday now, actually. Also, congratulations on 5,000 subscribers, so cheers, Nick. My perfect Sunday is probably, I don't know, going out with friends, messing about, maybe a little bit of racing together. Just sort of enjoying good company, enjoying the sun, enjoying the weather, just being outside really. Like, as much as I like playing games and I like driving, etc., being inside all day is pretty, I don't like that. I like being outside and being with this fresh air. I actually live in the country. I live in a small village in the English countryside, so like I think that's why I like being outside so much. But yeah, that's a perfect Sunday. Today Tiger has a couple of questions here. Congrats on 5k, thank you. Will you be hosting more sim racing leagues in the future? Yes, probably. At the moment, sort of getting settled in hell, as you can see. So when there's something, we'll announce it, of course, and hopefully we'll have a good participant. The Stroll 2000 League has ended a couple of weeks ago. Really good participation throughout, apart from the last race, and it'll be good to get that sort of level of competition again. Do you prefer front wheel drive, all wheel drive, or rear wheel drive? Depends on the car, I guess. I like front wheel drive because no one likes it. I like all wheel drive because you can do really cool drifts, and I like rear wheel drive because it tries to kill you every corner. So I like them all. That's a really bad answer, but oh well. Dion F 1998 asks, "What are your favourite WRC rallies that are not at the moment in the calendar?" I actually thought about this question the other day. When you asked it, I was thinking about it, and let's say the Safari Rally. I really miss that rally. I mean, I was recently watching I think it was a 1999 or 2000 season review, like a really long season review of the WRC Championship then, and there was a Safari Rally, and those stages were over 100 miles a stage, you know, some of the stages were that long anyway, and just a proper test of endurance, man-machine. The cars are battered throughout, and I think that's a awesome, you know, display of engineering and driver skills. So that's the rally I think I miss the most. So yeah. Next question, Tom D16V1, probably D16, asks, if you had to stick to one R Factor mod for the rest of your sim career, what would you choose? Probably Historics in R Factor 1, because there's such an array of cars in there. The cars that I like to drive, sort of really tail happy rear wheel drive things, old, they all sound awesome, and they're just really great. So I'd probably have to say Historics just because of the challenge and the variety in the mod. Tim Craig, what do you drive in real life? Sort of answered that. I drive a Mazda MX-5, and if I remember in editing, I'll put a picture up here. If not, then please in the comments moan at me, because I'll do that. But Mazda MX-5, 1993. There's actually a video on my channel somewhere about it, so if you're interested, go and check it out. Rusted Moose. Hey Jimmy, I'm a huge car fan. I've just recently gotten into PC sim racing. I do not have a wheel or any equipment yet. I've been racing GTR2 with a keyboard. It's horrible trying to race that way. Yes, it is. I was wondering if you had any suggestions on wheel and foot pedals for me to purchase. Thanks, keep up the good work. Thank you, Moose, for the question. And I think that the best value for money wheel you can probably get is a DF GT, a Logitech, if you're looking to kind of get into it. If you're really serious about it and think spend a lot of time, maybe a D27 or a D25, whichever's cheaper. They sort of take turns, which one's being cheaper. Get them second hand, of course. They aren't available normally right now. But the DF GT or the DFP, Driving Force Pro, are both really good wheels to start with, and the pedals aren't great on them, but to be honest, if you're racing with a keyboard, anything's better. Okay. NZ Lewis, I guess New Zealand Lewis, I hope it is, or Nuslis. Jimmy S's. My question / request: could you give Risa Studio Stock Car Extreme Devs yeah, no, they are crowdfunding campaign some coverage? They are currently running a crowdfunding campaign, so you can continue doing a few more incredible looking free updates to Stock Car Extreme before they move on to their next title. It would be great to see them meet and surpass their goals, as they have a reasonable small following, and in my opinion deserve all the support they get. I think that Stock Car Extreme is a fantastic game, fantastic sim. I wouldn't say it's the best at anything, but it's good at everything, which is more than can be said for pretty much the rest of the sims. So if you're interested in driving something that's fantastic with really good stock content, online is alive just about. There are stuff, leagues run by race department, etc. Then go and check this out. There's a link here. I'll post it in the description somewhere. As for coverage, I think that that should be left somewhat like Empty Box, some of a bigger crowd. I mean, I definitely support these guys for every endeavour they have, but it's not my job to promote people. It's more just enjoy their content and then promote it that way. It's hard to describe. That sounds really selfish to say, but I don't like sitting here and being like, you should do this because, I don't know. Crowdfunding is difficult, basically. Thomas, where to go? Thank you, Thomas. John Smith, would you call Project Cars a simulator? I have a video on that. Go and check it out. Project Cars light review. I'll link that in the description, because if I answer that here, I'll be here for ages. Child Allen. I forgot about this. Jimmy, why are you so cute? I don't know, man. It just happens. Good genetics, I guess. Oh dear. Gamescast Hamish Reef asks, if you could choose one motorsport to watch, what would it be? It would be racing, and it would be motorsports, and it would be WEC Le Mans, with a big pack of beer and a spotter's guide and a radio, because at Le Mans that was fantastic. So WEC definitely. Matt, I can't think of anything to ask. That's okay, dude. I'll let you off. Confused Self, what were your first few racing games and which games had the most influence on your developing interest in sim racing? That's a really good question, actually. My first ever racing game was F1 95. I played that a little bit. It was just called Formula 1 for the PS1. And then Formula 1 97, which I played the shit out of. I really did. I played it for years afterwards and did many full-length races. I think I did my first full-length race in F1 97 when I was about 8 years old, as Olivier Parnis in a Prost around Melbourne in the wet, and I won by 2 laps. See, I remember that. But probably the game that gave my most interest in sim racing is probably Gran Turismo, 1 through to 5. I played all those more than I played anything else probably in my life, especially Gran Turismo 4. I played that a lot, and 5. So yeah, probably those two, or that and that series. And it's from Gran Turismo that I first thought to buy a wheel, and then eventually came over to R Factor. So that's how I got into it from there. Thank you for the question. James Walker asks, thank you, congrats on the 5k subscribers, thank you. And what is your favourite race car and normal car? My favourite, I guess I could answer this. No, I can't remember. My favourite racing car is the Ford GT40, the Mark II to be precise. I really love that car, especially in the Gulf colours, iconic. Who can't love it? And my favourite normal car is probably I don't really know. It's a hard one. Probably like a Lotus Elise or something. I like those little sort of tiny fast cars, track cars. That's a really lame answer. I'd have to think about that a long time. Maybe I'll come back to that afterwards. But my favourite race car is the GT40. What is your favourite breakfast food? Pancakes. Pancakes are fantastic. Or like waffles with ice cream and strawberries. It's probably my favourite breakfast food. I'm trying to answer these really quickly, so like if I'm really bad at it, then please forgive me. Who are your top 5 current active drivers? Well, that's going to require a lot of thought. I guess across discipline, I guess my favourite driver is probably Daniel Ricciardo in F1, but I don't really follow F1 anymore. I just like him because he's a nice guy. I don't really follow drivers so much, to be honest. Like actual motorsport, I don't really follow that much. Like I like watching the racing. But in terms of like driving talent and all that sort of thing, I don't really watch that. I know that Mitch Evans is a very good driver coming through in GP2, as is Richie Stenaway. I quite like Jan Mardenborough. He's a really cool talent that's come from sim racing, and of course Florian Strauss, another sim racer turned race winner in real life. So I can't really give you a good answer to that. But anyone who's come from sim racing obviously gets the big thumbs up, and just a couple of endurance drivers, but I don't really follow it that much, to be honest. Congrats on 5k, says JH. Do you kart? No, I don't. I wish I did. I've gone a couple of times in real life, but I've not ever had the money to do it properly, so shame that. Opal Stew, congrats, thank you Opal. Okay, so you can have any previous F1 chassis and bolt any previous engine configuration into the back, V10, V8, so on. Which combination would you choose and why? Wow, well, that's definitely a question. Okay, this is going to be really quick. I'm thinking about it quickly. The Hesketh of James Hunt with a Ferrari V12 from the early 90s, because I want to blow up and look sexy while doing it. So that's why. Plus the sound of the V12. Oh my god! So sexy. Ratsalasis, congrats. Thank you, dude. Paul M. Jones says, Downey track day is the MX-5, bro. Go check out the regular car review of the MX-5 if you don't get that. No. It's a short answer. Well, it is the answer, because I've not been able to. The car needs a little bit of work to it. Like, I wouldn't want to take it onto the track unless I thought it was really like top notch. It needs some suspension work, I think, and that Russ I mentioned earlier. So no, not yet. I would love to though. Loving the rally stuff, says Nastros. Oh, nachos. I guess that's the joke. Hammer Blaster, how many jokes are made about your MX-5 by people you know? Any mods you've done to it since you bought it? No mods yet. Brakes replacement, not really a mod, but that's happened. And I've had lots of jokes. Favourite jokes, obviously, the hairdresser joke. That comes a lot. And no, that is the only joke that's made, but it gets made a lot. One of my closest friends also owns an MX-5 though, so we sort of like we defend each other when that comes up. So that's good. Brand Ninja 97 asks, I have a question. What are your favourite sim mods of all time? That means any games, like 3 or something. I'm tempted to ask for more, but that could take a long time to cover. Yeah, it could. Historics is definitely one of them. I really like that F1 mod, the McLaren mod that came out for Assetto Corsa recently, and I really can't remember the people who made that. I'm sorry, but it was really good. The '98 McLaren. and probably DRM in R Factor, because those mods are just, they're immersive, and I hold immersion above everything else pretty much, so that's why. But they are really awesome, and definitely check them out. So that's Historics, DRM, and the F1 McLaren from 1998 in Assetto Corsa. Congrats on 5K, says Kev. Thank you, Kev. Oh no. Bagara says, do you still hate me, Asger Hebsgard? If so, can you forgive me? No, I don't hate you, man. This is referring to an incident that I'll try and remember to show up from a stroll race where Asger went off track whilst being lapped, wasn't running any mirrors, came back on track and took me out without looking, basically. It was a very unsafe rejoin, which actually resulted in his banning from the league. But I don't hate you. It's a racing incident. I don't hate anyone who I've crashed with. I was very annoyed at the time. Now, whatever. Like, incidents happen, but you gotta use mirrors, man. You gotta use mirrors. But no, I don't hate you, dude. Patrick Mahada asks, this guy did some paint for me a while ago. Glad to hear all is well. Congrats on the 5K accomplishment. Just one quick question from you. Do you still use, there you go. Do you still use the white Skippy I painted for you in iRacing? I used it up until about a couple of months ago. Honestly, I had it for a long time in my car, and then someone made a Grip TV one, and I thought I better use that. But I'd used it for a long time, so that was awesome. So thanks for that, Patrick. I have some more done. Oh, cool. Well, if you have any more done, Patrick, then give us a message on iRacing or something, and I'll definitely take a look at them. So thank you for that. And yeah, I used it for a long time, so it was good. Cowards asked, I substitute a different account, but I can't comment with it, so I'll just post it with this. Okay, cool. What do you think about WRC, like your view of it in general, evolution of the series, how the cars have changed in recent years, etc.? WRC, the coverage for it is really bad if you don't pay for it. Like, it used to be pretty good coverage on like BBC and stuff like that, on Channel 4 as well. But now it's really hard to watch. I don't really watch it a lot. Like I said, I don't really watch many motorsports. I sort of just do racing on sim. But I know that the cars all look the same nowadays. Like I just said about any series, though, can't you? There's not really much personality to the cars. They're all just hatchbacks. Like I miss where the cars look different and were, you know, visibly sounded different, etc. And that sounds like a really bad thing to say for someone who doesn't really watch the series, but that's a really general view. Like I'm not interested in the cars at all. I very rarely drive the more modern cars in dirt, for example. So like, it's hard for me to comment, but. The only one rally I watched recently was the Monte Carlo rally when Sebastian Loeb was kicking ass, and then he retired, so I stopped watching it. So I guess that gives you my opinion. Really done that. Mancave says congrats, thanks Mancave. Dino asks, what is your dream car and why? It's like I sort of answered earlier. It's a GT40 Mark II race car because the sound of that thing and the way it is, the way it looks, everything is perfect for me. I just want one. I would give a lot to just ride in one. You know, I'd love to I'd love to drive one, but to ride in one would be fantastic. Maybe one day. Hey, who knows? Cole Revan asks, you love sim racing and you love F1. At least I presume you do. Formula cars. At least I assume you do. Well, yeah, I did. With this in mind, do you follow FSR at all, and why do you not compete in it? I'm just curious, as it seems the most well-known sim series, at least as far as I can tell. Also, favourite F1 car ever. I don't compete in FSR because I don't really compete in many sim racing series, because competitive sim racing kind of gets me a bit. I get really caught up in it and annoyed by it, so it's really difficult for me to dedicate a lot of time to practicing, for example, and I want to do that for FSR because it's a very well, some of it anyway is quite decent competition there, but also in the grand scheme of things I'm not really that fast. Like if I were to like see myself on like a scale of like, here are the aliens, here are the street stock rookies, I put myself maybe just above average in terms of speed. I'm not really that much of a decent racer. I just like doing it. So I want to be, I wouldn't feel like I'd be very competitive there. Favorite F1 car ever has got to be the 99 Jordan or 2000 Jordan. Basically the Jordan, because I love that shape of car. And also, it's just the best livery ever. OC Gamer asks, what are your current favourite racing sims and why? My current racing favourite sims, I guess, would be Dirt Rally, if you want to argue that's a sim or not, whatever. But that, and R-Factor 2 because it has a fantastic physics and tire model, and I just really enjoy all the cars I can drive in it, off the tracks, and basically just the way the cars feel are just brilliant. And Dirt Rally because it's a rally game that I wanted forever, and there was just a fantastic selection of cars in it, and despite being early access, it's looking really promising, so that's why. We answered the MX-5 question, but thanks anyway, Loud Assassin. What are your thoughts about the upcoming Rallycross update for Dirt Rally and my PC specs? My PC specs can be found on my Twitch page, which will be a link for in the description. Sorry, I'm being really lazy, but I've typed out so many times that I can't bother to do it again. And my thoughts on the update is I'm really looking forward to it. Rallycross is a lot of fun. I'm curious as to how it will work online because bumper cars are scary. But I'm still looking forward to it, and I really hope it will be great. And I'll try and do a video covering it at some point. At the moment, my internet is really bad, but I think on the 10th it is, or 12th, basically in about a week's time, we're going to be getting better internet, and hopefully the video splurge can commence again, because I'm looking forward to it. CWLDD asks, good video, congrats on 5k. On the kit cars, what do you use for the, I guess that's degrees of rotation on your wheel? I cannot seem to control the thing that turns. Every car I use 400 degrees in dirt. Seems to work fine. If you're having a lot of trouble getting the car around the corner, as in you can't get it turning in enough, maybe a little bit more brake bias to the rear, that'll help you under braking, but the car also already has quite a not brake bias, and it's quite odd because it's a front wheel drive car, so just experiment with brake bias, maybe the suspension as well at the back, maybe a bit firmer if you're having that much trouble turning in, but 400 degrees is what I use, so good luck with that. Chris Gunner says, I've been watching since Matt posted the MX-5 vid when you got donations. Keep it up, man. Thanks, Chris, for the support. Charles Draycott, massive congrats. Jimmy, really pleased to be a part of it and see it grow. Cheers, Charles. It's good to have you. Do you want to do Le Mans again next year? And do you fancy organising a trip over with me and a friend if we end up sorting out? Oh, well, that's very kind of you to offer that. I'm not sure what my situation will be like next year. I would love to go again, definitely. I'd probably do a couple of things differently. But I would definitely love to go again. It's a lot of fun. And hey, hell, if there's a spot going and it's viable, then why not? Why not? Joseph Bolton asks, sim racing question. Looks like people have been going on it anyway. Looking to get in sim racing, playing rally games like RBR and Dirt. However, I am finding it increasingly difficult to play with the pad, so what wheel should I go for a budget between 100 and 200 pounds? I've answered that already, Joseph, already. DFGT, or if you want to spend some more money, a D27, D25. I'm not sure about the Fanatec wheels. I can't tell you about those, I've never used them before, but from personal experience, those wheels are pretty sweet. Here's guys for answering that. Captain Mike, I guess. Hey Jimmy, how do you like the new Tarmac Terra maps? Keep them good work. I guess you mean Germany. They're really cool. I'm really enjoying them. As with the rest, same as the rest. I wish the stages were sort of more. There were more individual stages, because there are 12 stages and there seem to be variants for like 3 variants of 4 big stages, or 3 variants of. 4 variants of 3 big ones. Yeah, but basically they aren't really different stages. They're just sort of back and forth and bits and cut out and here and there. Windows is not genuine. Shit, it is. But yeah, I'd say they're really good. I really enjoy them. I just wish there were more of them, as usual, really. Tejman Nabus asks, I said that wrong, haven't I? How did you start streaming, and with what games? I started streaming with R Factor. I think I covered some endurance races a while ago. I just did it because I fancied doing it. I think I had a upload of 1, so I was streaming at 700 bitrate, which anyone who doesn't use streaming or ever made a video will know it's awful. But I just did racing. I did a couple of games of Worms with friends. Just sort of did it for fun, which I still do when I can do it. And then I just got into iRacing a bit, did that, and went from there. I mean, that's how I met Malone, through racing. He only started streaming very recently, or very shortly after I started streaming. And I just said, "Oh, well, you should definitely keep doing it. You're very entertaining." And I like to take credit for Matt. No, he's done it all himself. But that's how we got started doing that. And that's me saying love to everyone. I think we're done now. I think that's the question. I think we're all done. No, that's a lie. There was one more question from Twitter, so I'm going to very quickly pull that up and cut this, so give me a second. Okay then, and the last couple of questions, I guess, came from Will Harding on Twitter, so thank you, Will, for your questions. Money no object, what 3-car garage would you have? 1 daily, 1 weekend car, one track rally race car. Money no object. Ford GT40 race car, Mark II. A rally car. I would adore to have an Audi S1 Quattro of some sort. Maybe one of the faster versions. Maybe like a bit more bodywork on it because I like those cars that look nicer. And for like a sort of day-to-day car, maybe like an Audi RS6 or something, sexy and power, or something old. I really like older cars as well. It's really hard to choose like modern cars or older cars. Or I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry, I can't answer that. A personal question: what are you studying? What is your profession? Whatever it is applicable. I was studying photography. I'm now a photography graduate. I'm a Bachelor of the Arts. Yeah, don't get tired of saying that. I don't currently work, but I am looking for employment at the moment. So I think that's it. So guys, thank you everyone who asked questions. It was awesome to answer them. And if you ask any more questions coming after that, I'll just answer them in the comments or whatever. But yeah, back to scheduled videos now. I'm going to be doing some more dirt stuff soon. I'm going to be recording the next part of the dirt rally career, probably today actually, while my mic is set up, and then go from there. Yeah. So yeah, guys, thank you very much again for watching and continuing to watch, and hopefully another 5,000 subscribers time we'll do another one. Hey, who knows? So thanks then, guys, and catch you next time. GG.